In this video, we are going to discuss the topic limited liability companies, or you may call it limited companies. We would go through LCCI level 2 and 3 syllabus and also the CIE syllabus. In the CIE syllabus, it is stated that candidates have to understand the advantages and disadvantages of operating a limited company. For the advantages, it would be about the separate legal entity. That is, the legal liability of the company is separate from its owner. In other words, the company can sue or can be sued by the others. Now, for the disadvantages, it would be about the complicated setup procedures. As you can see in the textbook, so there are a lot of articles and memorandum that the owners need to prepare. Okay, like the memorandum of association and also articles of association. Both CIE and LCCI syllabus stated that candidates need to understand the term limited liability. Now, that means the maximum loss of the investor is only confined to their maximum amount of investment. In other words, the personal assets are not needed to compensate for the loss of the company, even though the companies go bankrupt. Or let's do this. We'll take a look at unlimited companies, for example. So if the unlimited company go bankrupt, the owners need to make use of the personal access, to repay debts. But this is not the case for limited companies. So that's what we call limited liabilities. In the LCCI level 2 syllabus, candidates need to understand the differences between the PLC, and also the private limited company. Now, I would say the differences lies on the rights to transfer the shares. For the public limited companies, shares can be transferred freely in the stock exchange market. However, for the private companies, the shares cannot be transacted freely. For any transaction about the shares, it will be required the consent of the board of directors of the private limited companies. The LCCI syllabus, candidates need to differentiate ordinary shares and preference shares. In the CIE syllabus, it is stated that candidates have to understand the term equity. Now, I will put it all together, to do the illustration. Ordinary shares would represent voting rights. So we will also call these equities. But on the other hand, for the preference shares, there are no voting rights at all. Still, in the CIE syllabus, other than preference share and ordinary shares, students need to also understand other equities like general reserves. For general reserve, indeed, it's just a reserve. To reserve the money for dividend distribution. So there's not a big deal about transferring money to give dividend from the general reserve or the retained earnings. There's no difference at all. In the CIE syllabus, as you can see, there are 3 types of shares, or we call it capital. That candidates need to understand the differences. Now, I would say it's really rare that students will face questions regarding differences of called up or paid up capital like this. I would say the important point lies on the differences between share capital and loan capital. So the differences is stated in both CIE and LCCI level 2 syllabus. So I would say for share capital, it represents voting rights, like ordinary shares. But for the loan capital, it would be like debentures. So indeed is a liability, to the company. Now, other than general reserve, the LCCI level 2 syllabus stated that candidates need to understand the purpose of capital reserve. So it is usually for bonus shares, to be issued, as a non-cash dividend. There are 3 more technical terms to go in this syllabus, including redeemable and irredeemable shares. You may refer to details to the textbook. Also, in this LCCI level 2 syllabus, candidates need to also understand right issues and bonus issue. For bonus issue, it is free of charge. It's very important. So for right issue, of course, the company can raise capital. However, for the bonus issue, okay, it is issued to the existing shareholders free of charge. Okay, I would like all of you, okay, to mark this down. Okay, this is very, very important. Right now, we are going to take a look at LCCI level 2 exercise. Okay, it's about the internal use of the limited company's statement. Okay, for part A, candidates need to compute the amount of preference dividend and ordinary dividend. Let's take a look the answer in the right corner. Okay, first of all, let's take a look how to compute the amount of preference dividend. First of all, you may take a look the yellow part. In the yellow part, you can see that the total amount of the preference share is 10,000. Okay, and it is declared that the dividend will be paid in full. So we will make use of 10,000 times 8%. Okay, paid in full. Then you can grab the answer. 800. Okay. Okay. Good. So and then we will move on to part 2. Okay, it's about the total amount of ordinary dividend. So it talks about that. Okay, $0.1. Okay, 10 cents. Okay, will be paid per shares. So first of all, we have to find out how many shares are issued. Okay, so we simply do the division. Okay, so then we can grab 15,000 shares. Then next, okay, we can have the answer. Okay, 15,000 shares times 10 cents per share. So the answers will be 1,500. Moving on to the preparation of the statement of financial position. Okay, for the internal use. So we will make use of the formula. Assets equals to equity plus liabilities. So I would make use of the yellow color for the assets. Okay, green color for the equity, and blue color for the liabilities. So I've put the question in the left and the marking guidelines on the right hand side. So you may simply copy those items. For example, the property, plant, and equipment. Okay, you may just simply put down the net value. And then next we can see for the blue color, okay, it will be the current liabilities. So I would just simply put it down. Okay, so you may add it up. Say for example, you may add it up trade and other payables. Okay, I would like to remind you one thing is that for the 6% debentures, it would be current liabilities. Okay, not non-current liabilities. Okay, as it is redeemable in it is you need to repay it within 1 year. So it would be current liabilities. The most difficult part lies on the calculation of the retained earnings. Okay, so you have to add up the profit for the year and minus 2,300. Okay, so what is 2,300? It comes from part A. Okay, so that is the dividend you need to pay. Okay, so you may add up. Okay, the dividend you need to pay 800 and 1,500. So you can grab 2,300 for the dividend. Okay. In the exam report, okay, you can see that there are some candidates, okay, they mistreat, okay, the format of the internal use of the statement. Okay, so say for example, okay, you can see that in this candidate sample, the share capital has not been split into ordinary share capital and preference share capital. So this candidate only score 9/10. Okay, but not full mark. Last one, I would like to take a look past C. Okay. So it asks about the reason, okay, why the shareman premium account was created. Okay, so first of all, you have to define, okay, define the the definition, or you have to give the definition of share premium. Okay, that is when shares issue more than the nominal value. Okay, then it will be recorded separately. Okay, in the exam report, you can see a lot of students, they have no idea what is this terminology. Okay, so that's all for LCCI level 2. Okay, it's about the internal use of the limited company statement. The CIE syllabus, it's a little bit complicated as there are adjustments you need to make. Let's take a look one question regarding the CIE syllabus. In part A, we need to calculate the retained earnings. I've put the question in top, and I've put the marking guidelines in the bottom. So first of all, we have to grab the balance. 14000. And then we have to add up the profit for the year, and there are a few things we have to deduct, including number 1, transfer to general reserve, and number 2, dividend paid. Okay, so this would be the computation of the retained earnings for the year. Part B, candidates need to prepare the statement of financial position. We will make use of the same technique, assets equal to equity plus liabilities. I've put the yellow color, the pale green color for the assets, the green color, okay, for the equity, and the blue color for both non-current and current liabilities. So you can see, okay, question in the left hand side and the answers on the right hand side. Let's take a look at the assets. Okay, for the trade receivables, I would like to remind you that, okay, you have to deduct the provision for doubtful debts to get the net value. Regarding the equity, as you recall, okay, so we have made a transfer of 5,000. Okay, so remember, okay, you have to add it up. Okay, add up 5,000 to the general reserve. For the return earnings, okay, you may simply copy the amount, okay, from part A. Okay, so just simply copy it. Okay, then you can earn 1 mark. For part B, and we will move on to part C. Okay, it's about, okay, the purpose of general reserve. Okay, so it's quite simple, right? Okay, as you recall, okay, we've talked about it. Okay, the general reserve is for dividend payments, okay, but not, repayment of your liabilities. That will be all for the CIE's question, and we will move on to the difficult part. Okay, it's about the external use, stated in the LCCI level 3 syllabus. Now we will move on to a more difficult syllabus, the LCCI level 3. Now in this syllabus, okay, we have to prepare the statement in external use, and also we will face a lot of adjustment. Let's take a look at the question. Okay, the question in the left, the answer in the middle, and I will do some calculation in the right, okay, on the right hand side. First of all, let's take a look at the revenue. Okay, you cannot copy the revenue directly. Okay, you have to deduct the returns inwards to get the net revenue. Okay. And next, about the cost of sales. The cost of sales, as you can see, I've highlighted in the pale green color. There are a lot of adjustment we have to do. First of all, we will start with the open inventory, add up the purchases, and then add up the carriage inwards only. Okay, carriage inwards only. So we have to deduce, okay, the amount of carriage inwards, and then after that we have to deduct the closing inventory. Now for the closing inventory, okay, it's a little bit complicated. Now we have to make use of the accounting principle, the called the lower amount of cost and net realizable values. Okay, so we have to do is to find out the net realizable value. Okay, so let's take a look. First of all, we can grab the net realizable value as 11,000. Okay. So and then we have to compare it, okay, with the inventory value deduction. Okay, so we will take the lower one. Okay, so we will take the lower one. So we will minus 14,000, and then we can grab the value of the closing inventory. So this is how we compare the cost of sales. Next, let's take a look at administrative expenses. Again, okay, there are a lot of steps we have to do. We will start with the balance. Okay, 467,325. And then there are things we have to add up, okay, including, depreciation, right? Okay, so for the depreciation, bear in mind, okay, we have to exclude the land, okay, which we do not need to do the depreciation, and then we have to make use of the third fifth, okay, for the depreciation expenses for the administrative stuff. And then we have to add it up like the bad debts, or we call it irrecoverable debts. And then we have to also do the allowance for doubtful debts. We must minus, okay, 1550, okay, the irrecoverable debts, okay, to get the net trade receivables. After that, we will compare the balance, okay, of the allowance for doubtful debt for this year, and then we will compare the balance of this year and the previous year. As you can see, there's a drop. Okay, there's a drop in the balances. We will consider, okay, a decrease in the allowance for doubtful debts as an income. Okay, so you can see there's a blanket, okay, in the workings. Okay, so this is all for the calculation of the administrative expenses. Now for the distribution cost, again, okay, there are workings you need to do, and I've put it in a green color. So we will start with 161,114. And then at this time, okay, it's about the carriage hours. Okay, you have to add up the carriage hours. And then this time, okay, we have to do is the 2/3, okay, 2/5, okay, 2/5, okay, 2/5 of the depreciation, okay, 2/5, okay. So you have to add it up, add up depreciation. And for the advertisement, for the advertisement expenses, it's quite tricky, because there is prepayment, so we have to deduct the prepaid expenses, so we need to make the count, so I've made the count for you in the right hand side, so there are 8 months, 8 months expenses are prepaid, so we have to deduct it, that is 500 times 8, that is 4,000, 500 times 6, 4,000, we have to deduct 4,000 as the prepaid expenses. In the financial interest, so you can see that at this time, we have to do calculation, so there, it's quite tricky. It's 7 months, a lot of candidates, they just count 6 months, it's not correct, 7 months, so after that, we have to deduct the test charge, and then you can grab the answer, so that's all, for the LCCI level 3, it's quite difficult, and there are a lot of adjustments, and you have to present it in external format.